Okay, so I started to say it before. I'll say it again. Hey, thanks for stopping by. I don't care if you stopped by or not, but if you did stop by, at least it's polite to say thank you. Mama didn't raise a complete jerk. I apologize for my hair, because, well, let's put it this way. I've been in computers since there were computers, and for some reason or another, I never learned how to work a slideshow. I know you don't like looking at me. That doesn't bother me in the least, but I figure if I put a slideshow up, you're more likely to return. So that out of the way, welcome back. Welcome me back. I tried last week's broadcast, and I tried this week's broadcast with slideshows. I screwed up. As a matter of fact, I even lost one of them. I have no idea where it went. Furthermore, Scarlet. So anyhow, Super Tuesday was yesterday. We saw who won. We saw who lost. We saw all kinds of prognostication that did and did not pan out. We tried. We see what's going on with Trump. We see what's going on with Skippy the Wonder Boy, Rubio. We see which. I'm sorry, I don't think he'd be a bad president. I don't think Cruz would be a bad president. I don't know about Trump. He has his goods, his bads, and his indifference. He's been fighting this issue with the mainstream liberal media about denouncing the fact that he got an endorsement, which he did not, from David Dukes, the former great-grand Poobah High Holy Wizard of the KKK. And Dukes did not endorse him, was specific in saying so. And I'm concerned. What's the difference if it's David Dukes? He can't control who endorses him. As a matter of fact, if he did go and try and denounce it and stuff, that would give it honor that it didn't deserve. I won't glorify that question with an answer. You know what? Mainstream media, what if it was somebody you did like Sanger, or Madeleine Murray O'Hair, or Dawkins, or somebody that you do like? What if it was somebody like that? Then would you become, oh, well, he somehow or another these people endorsed him? Yeah, you know what? Shut up. It was on MSNBC, no less. So, but all 12 people who watch it, besides political, pundits and stuff like that, all 12 people who watch it are going to pay any attention? Just, they can't even keep all their people. And when they can't keep their people, what's that girl, the black girl with the feminine products dangling from her ears? I forget her name. It doesn't matter because I don't pay that much attention. She got canned for whatever reason. Being obnoxious, I guess, because I don't know what the hell she had a job at MSNBC. And then she starts tweeting all over the place that they're racist. They fired her because she's black. Oh, come on now. You're talking MSNBC. If you were saying, Fox News, or, RT, or, some other, National Review, or, Conservative Chronicle, all right, you know what? You might have a half a shot at making people believe it. But in the meantime, social justice warrior, shut up, sit down. Who's she going to go to work for today? Al Jazeera's gone. Al Gore's network is gone. RT, Russia Today, she going to go to work for Russia Today? The Beeb won't touch her. I don't know who she's going to go to work for now. Maybe she'll just, I don't know, go on unemployment for a while. So, keep her out of the way in the rest of the election cycle. That would be nice. The last thing we need is another social justice warrior out there with an attitude, being, in the way of people with a rational, intelligent thinking mind. So anyhow, we saw Super Tuesday come. We saw Super Tuesday go. I see turnout is going to be the factor. There's at least one poll that puts Trump behind Hillary in a general election by nigh 30%. I'm not sure I buy the nigh 30% part. If it was neck and neck or a few percentage points. Turnout. I've always been of the persuasion of if you don't vote, you don't have the right to bellyache. Yes, granted, you do have the right to bellyache. It's your right as an American to bellyache, no matter whether you vote or not. But I will, if you're arguing with me and you didn't vote, I'm going to just assume that everything that's coming out of your mouth is baloney. Oh, I'd never vote for Trump. Why not? Every non-vote is a vote for the opposition. Turnout is, has been, was, always will be the key to winning an election. Because I've said it before, I'll say it again. I really should go and vote, but today is Wednesday. That means Little Mary has clarinet, and Johnny has soccer, and little Sophie has tap, and little Stevie has, whatever. Oh, and it's PTO tonight, and I have to bake a cake. You know what? You still got to vote. Tell the kids, leave 5 minutes early. Sit here. I'll be right out. The polls open at, depending on where you're at, anywhere from 6 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock at night, depending on the state. I don't know what it's like where you're at. In the meantime, if you don't vote, don't complain. Don't complain when your taxes go through the roof, when your health care costs go through the roof. You're sitting there trying to make things together. You're working, your husband's working, you're working, your wife is working, your kids are all going, to 15 different things, and the minivan needs work, and your car's getting a little old, and your taxes go up, and your health care go up, and how are we going to make ends meet? Well, you know what? Think back to November and say, oh, gee, I guess Lou's right. We should have voted. Yeah, Lou's right. You should vote. I've never discouraged anybody from voting, regardless of party. Well, no, that's not true. I shouldn't say that. Just the other day, I told them, sit down and stay home. Some flaming social justice, pink-haired, nose-ringed feminist social justice warrior. Stay home. You know what? Stay home. And that's the only time. Register and vote has always been my mantra. Register and vote. It's not just your right to vote, which people all over the world are dying for. It's your responsibility to vote. Because if you don't, people will get the government they deserve. If you don't vote, you're going to get the government you deserve. It's that simple. Of course, if you're from the left, and I urge you to stay home, if you do, you might not get the government you want, but you will get the one you deserve. You deserve as an American to have an American America. So when it comes right down to it, what do we got? We've got 3 left on the right-ish. There's people who refuse to let go and go away. You've got 2 on the left-ish. I think there's still 1 floating around out there somewhere. Maybe, whatever. There's 2, and there's 3. Let's call it that. Don't want to hear about any third-party issues. Don't want to hear about, because you know what? The third parties, historically, added up, have not ever come to 10% of the popular vote. Ever. Don't, never. Not Nader, not Perot, not Paul, not any of them. Not none of them. Not know-how. Have added up. Socialist, communist, libertarian, New Republic, workers, added up, green, they never amounted to 10% of the popular vote. Why waste it? Why waste it? What's with these litmus tests? Oh, I like Trump on immigration, and I like Trump on foreign policy with bombing ISIS. But, that whole thing with him and Planned Parenthood, get rid of the litmus test. You can't look, you see the forest for the trees. Here's a platform. You're going to look at one plank and say, I don't like the color of the nails. You're going to look at one baluster in the railing and say, well, can't vote for him now. Comedians say it all the time. Oh, yeah, he laugh till he tells one joke you don't like, then all of a sudden he's a jerk. Well, it's the same thing with politicians. You got to go for the greater good. If you're strong on Second Amendment and you're strong on right to life and you're strong on national defense and you're strong on a strong economy, limited government, lowered taxes. Oh, but you know what? I don't like what they said about... add these things up and divide it by. You got one thing out of 10, 12, 14 things that you don't like. You're going to not vote for the candidate. You're just going to stay home. You're going to stay home and let all those liberals who I saw over the weekend, they were all out at the cemeteries registering all new voters. They're all up this. There's one cemetery the other side of the Causeway, and there's another cemetery up on Tenny Hill Road, and there's another cemetery up over here, down 302 a bit. And yeah, they were out there. I was wondering why people are walking around in the cemetery with clipboards. What? They're registering voters. these illegalists, these illegal aliens. Voting is a form for them. Checkbox. Is it legal? No. Hell no. But they're doing it. We get it here in Maine all the time. They go down to the University of Southern Maine. They go down to University of Maine, and they get the buses, the vans, and they take all the college kids, and they move stuff around. Hey, here's a power bill, here's a light bill, here's a gas bill, here's this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, go in and register, because we still have same-day registration. And they don't have to show any ID because we still don't have an ID to vote. And they go in there and they vote in Raymond. Then they come up and they vote in Naples. Then they go up and they vote in Castro. Then they get up and they vote in Bridgeton. Then they go up and they vote in Norway and Harrison and Paris. Then they go on the way back down, they pick up a keg and they have a nice little party. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Why? Because we allow it to. You can't ignore that. You've got to get out there and vote. You've got to go. Our caucus is this Saturday. You've got to go and caucus. Our election is in November. You've got to go and vote. It's just that simple. I don't know how much more time I can waste on this subject. Well, actually, I can waste all the time I want. It's my time. I had a bunch of other stuff that I had written down. Oh yeah, the social justice warriors. If you don't vote, even if you've got these kids, and I know you've got them in your family, whether you know it or not. Hell, I've got them in my family. Get these kids, college-age kids, and they're all Sanders, 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 because they're like, oh, he wants to get rid of my student debt and all that. Yeah, sure. So he'll give you a free education, and then when you get out and you get a job, if you get a job, he's going to tell you what kind of job you can have, how much you're going to get paid. And then when you get how much you're going to get paid, depending on how much you get paid, you'll be paying anywhere from half of it to 90% of it back. Because it doesn't take much to sneak into the 1%, especially when the 1% keeps getting smaller. Why? Because if he gets even close to getting elected, you think the top 1/10 of 1% doesn't already have most of their stuff offshore? You're kidding yourself, right? You're kidding yourself, right? You think for a minute they won't just change their address to Zurich or Cayman or Belize or Costa Rica? Oh, sure, they're a citizen. But if they make all their money offshore and they have an address offshore, what are you going to do? You're going to tax them at the foreign rate. Don't add up. They're already moving jobs off. They already have half their fortunes over there. Won't take much. A couple of phone calls, a couple of keystrokes, gone. So in Maine, you only need to be in the 1% to have a net worth of $140,000. All you need to make is $37,000 a year, and you are in the 1%. That's simple. And if you take the top 10th of a percent off, the 1% creeps down. Where's the 1% going to end? If you make more than $12,500 a year, they're going to tax you 90%. If you have a net worth of $20,000, they're going to tax you in the 1%. I don't think that's a fair bargain. And I don't think the kids today are thinking about things like that. They're like the little engine that could, only they're actually more like the little engine that mommy and daddy always did everything for. Great analogy. I like that. I think all in all, it's a question of what do you want out of life? What are the best things in life? You're not going to get them. Not this time. I know. Sean Hannity, every time, ever since he got syndicated, every election, the most important election of our lifetime. The most important election of our lifetime. Well, now we know it is. Because we've got a socialist, communist, whatever come on. I know the difference between socialism and communism. Ask Ayn Rand. One is by force and one is murder and the other suicide. That's the difference. So I know the difference. Whatever he is, he's running. You also got not convicted, almost indicted, hopefully indicted. Absolutely guaranteed you can't hide behind the fact that she's a liar, a cheat, and a thief. Period. Liar, cheat, and a thief. And, well, like Bill always, Bill Clinton said, hey, I always chose somebody besides Hillary. You should too. I agree with him. The thing with it is, you've got basically that if the indictment comes down, there's enough evidence to convict. And if Lynch doesn't move to indict, DOJ Attorney General doesn't move to indict before the election, they're going to have to after the election, like it or not. In which case, then you've got impeachment proceedings that have to be considered. Either way, if you don't vote, one of two things can happen. Either they delay it, she gets in and we have to impeach her, or they delay it, they finally impeach, or they finally indict, and that cripples her candidacy, means we've got a communist. Gee, doesn't that sound delightful? I'm sorry, but I don't think so. I have a lot of friends that are veterans, myself included, and I don't know any of us that ever signed on the dotted line to go defend socialism. Not a one. And if there's anybody in there now, right here, right now, in our military that signed up to defend socialism, God bless them. But I don't think they're out there. The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things. These are the things that are important. These are the voyages of the Starship America. I think we should work at keeping it the Starship America. Yes, I know, I'm a very stream of consciousness kind of guy, and yes, I know there's stuff I didn't do in this video. I need to get this stuff out there. I'm 2 weeks behind. Hey, look, like, subscribe, and unhide who you are. I'd like to know who you are. Or message me, but, hey, comment. As Lionel always says, comment as you see fit. And on that note, buckle up, because I got another one coming out in just a very short time. Stay tuned. And God bless the United States of America.